Okay, so I'm doing this reading concerning Trisha Paytas. It's August 13th, and, you know, she's been out of the Celebrity Big Brother house for a few days now, and she's really regretting it. But my feeling is that she should not regret it, that it was the right thing to do. I mean, when I saw her in the house, I loved her in there. I would have loved to seen her to the end, but I knew that she was going to drop out. I could just see that she was so fed up. And, you know, had she had known all the love that she was really getting, she would have stuck with it. But now I feel so bad that, you know, she feels like she threw away a great opportunity. I don't think so. I don't pick up on that at all. I think that this is going to lead to a lot of opportunities for her. She just doesn't know it yet. So let's pull a card, you know. What will be the outcome for Trisha Paytas of leaving Celebrity Big Brother, of even being on that show, of all of this? What would be the outcome? Will it be very negative for her, or will it be a positive for her? What now? What's coming for Trisha Paytas as a result of this whole Big Brother thing? And before I pull the card, I just, you know, she's so hard on herself, but she's found her niche in life, you know. And I just see things going up for her. And my biggest wish is for her to find her true soulmate. Oh, the High Priestess. Isn't that interesting? So that's a very powerful card. And it's a card that's great for somebody who's emotional. When I read the comments, nobody can understand her emotion. Who is that kitty? Okay, never mind. Nobody can understand her emotion. And people are like, I read comments, well, that's what happens when you lead with your emotions. But her emotions did her good. So where is this going to lead her to? What's the outcome of this? Is a very interesting card. It's a very powerful card. It's a person whose intuition is bam right on. So I feel like for sure she did the right thing by leaving, by following her emotional instinct, you know, even though so many people bash emotions. Emotions are your guides, you know. And emotional people, sensitive people, like Patricia, they just can't control it. It's just, if they try not to listen to what their emotion, they just explode. So I think it's going to have a very positive outcome for her, even though I do find the High Priestess is extremely powerful. I'm not quite sure. Well, the High Priestess, she is just going to be in a very powerful position, but maybe this is going to lead to some sort of, in her mind, some sort of direction or some sort of epiphany, or whatever she reveals about Sarah Harding will end up coming true. She's going to make a prediction about the show that's going to end up coming true, but either way, she's winning, but it's a very interesting card. So I'm going to pull another card with it. What will be the outcome of this for her? Because right now she's just living in regret so bad. Oh, and a Lover's card. A balancing. So in both of these cards, you got that feeling of balance, that, you know, this is a really important step in her life. Like, after this, she's just going to, and they're both twos, so much balance and decisions and coming together of her inner self, you know, a healing within her. So they're all very powerful, even though I'm finding it a little bit evasive. I think for some reason, something that she says about the show is going to turn out to be bam right on, and she's going to come out so far ahead as a result of this. Especially something to do with her inner happiness, her inner peace, coming together of two sides of herself, the conflicts that she has in herself. Just something so healing comes out of this, and so powerful. Even though the High Priestess, you know, she really is in a powerful position as a result of this. And that's what's coming for her as a result of this. So I just stepped back for a minute and looked at these cards from an intuitive perspective and really meditated on them for a little bit. So I'm adding a little bit more to this video. So, you know, what I find interesting is that she talks about the Queen a lot. I'm the Queen of England, you know, she made the title of the video. And then she, in her last video, she talks about, you know, her fantasy of, you know, meeting the prince and becoming the princess and living in Buckingham Palace. But in here, she becomes even higher than the queen, I think, because, you know, she's the queen of her world, but she's the queen of the spiritual world too. So I just feel some deep wisdom. There's going to be something that she says about the show, and you know, something about this just leads her into a very, very powerful place. And I think she realizes more that her place is YouTube, that she does have her niche in life, and when she runs life from her own intuition. So I think she's just really going to have an epiphany after this show. I was just looking at this. I wonder why the beads in her hair go down and then they go across here. I wonder what the meaning of that is. But anyways, you know, she really comes into her power after this. There's just something, such a deep wisdom that comes from this out of her. And this card along with it, some people might think the Lovers. The reason I pulled this card was to give me additional information on this. And I just feel like there's a real balancing in her of male and female. There's a real healing time. She's entering into a time of big life change. And this was the gateway to that. And astrologically, we're entering the Lion's Gate. It's called the Lion's Gate at this time, 888, the Lion's Gate. And she, in numerology, her numbers, her birth date is May 8th, 1988. That always stood out for me. With those number combinations, you're always going to have money. You're always money coming in, money being lost. But this is a real healing card in both of them, you know, the yin and the yang, the dark and the light, the male, the female, but with the lion and the healer above that. And the two, you know, about decisions to be made, but I don't know if she's going to just notice more that she's very wise and intuitive, or the whole world is going to know there's a certain wisdom in her, and that she refused to be fake. I think people are going to realize, they're going to come to a realization of who she really is, like people who didn't know her before that, and a realization of how fake the people were and how she pegged it right on. And I think it's going to garner her a lot of respect. Anyways, she's in a very powerful position, but she does it on her own, you know, not from anybody else. She's doing it on her own. It just is a very, very powerful time right now for her. Even though she's regretting her decision, she's not going to regret it for long. It's going to end up being a very, very life-changing and powerful decision for her in the long run.